Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Shaitaan, a movie that, if they called it Satan, I would be like, oh, okay, that's what it is. But it's called Shaitaan, and I think it means something else, but it's about a dude who walks into this couple's house and uses black magic to make their daughter his puppet, and then does all sorts of horrible things. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 14 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So this is an Indian horror movie running on Netflix India. I'm not sure. I guess it's Hindi. Usually that's the language I think they run Netflix India movies in. But it's a weird movie. I'm gonna guess it's probably based on something cultural that I don't know. 4th of May, if you have a VPN. So this guy shows up at this couple's house. He asks if he could charge his phone, and they say yes for some reason. Now maybe they know him a little bit, but he's kind of mildly obnoxious. He's got dirt on his shoes. The wife doesn't like it, and he asks him to leave, but he says, "I'm not leaving." And then he reveals that he has used black magic to hypnotize their daughter, and the daughter does anything he says, and they can't get her to stop. So now he sort of tortures them, and I'm not sure why. It doesn't get into the whys, but he says, "I am her god." Now he wants the parents to give permission to leave with the daughter, and then here's the father fighting the dude. I guess his name is Shaitaan. I know it's not Satan, but it's just kind of funny that the name is Shaitaan. Right? It's almost like somebody in India said, "Oh, we'll do a movie, about a Satan, because that'll appeal to the Westerners." Like, oh, is he called Satan or Shaitan? I think he's called Shaitan. We'll spell it differently, so it'll be slightly different. But no, I assume that's the guy's name, or maybe that's the cultural thing. I don't know. So it looks kind of scary, but at the same time kind of ridiculous. But, again, it's a different culture. So that's kind of why I watch Indian movies sometimes, to see their take on different things. And so this gives you the take on what an Indian audience might think is scary. And to some extent it's universal, but it's weird, right? It's weird that they would let a guy in to charge his phone. Like, I don't think I'd be like, nah, go find another place. Go to a Starbucks or something. But then again, it's India, right? It's a little different. Maybe culturally, societally, they feel obligated to help a stranger. Maybe they know him slightly, and then it's kind of snowballs from there. And then I'm not sure why. So they let him in the first act, and things are relatively normal. Then they want him to leave. He won't leave. Eventually, it's sort of a confrontation. Like, he's like, "Oh, I'm never leaving." And then second act, he reveals like he has control of the daughter, makes her do all sorts of things, and it's a battle between the parents and, I assume, Shaitaan, whether or not he will give up control or kill them or kill the daughter or whatever. And so it goes back and forth and escalates until the third act. I guess they probably figure out some weakness of him and exploit it. Or maybe they finally just attack him and then try to kill him. And I assume they win somehow, even though it's a horror movie. But then again, it is a horror movie, so maybe they don't win. maybe they managed to kill the guy, but now the father is like him and evil. Or, the father sacrifices himself to save his daughter. Or the daughter sacrifices herself to save the mother and father, or something like that. Or, I don't know. It's a different culture, so the ending is sort of key. But I think in a more standard, universal way, they would probably beat the evil and drive him out, or maybe they'd indicate that maybe he'll come back or whatever. Let's see if there's a write-up here. A father races against time in a valiant attempt to save his daughter from a dark source. Will he succeed? And it's always bad to put questions in the synopsis. But it premieres Shaitaan. Shaitaan premieres on May 4th. I'm going to look up Shaitaan just because I suspect that's something. Let's see. Shaitaan. Oh, all right. Here's the Wikipedia write-up. A Hindi language supernatural horror thriller directed by Vikas Bal and produced by Devnig Films. Stars, blah, blah, blah. I don't know the actors. Story revolves around a family whose lives are disrupted when the eldest daughter falls under the spell of black magic cast by a stranger. The family endeavors to stop the possession and uncover the stranger's motives. Okay. All right. So I guess it doesn't really... I'm going to guess it's the guy's last name or something like that. Interesting. I would watch it. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I'd pretty much watch any horror movie, but again, an Indian horror movie, you're going to get a little insight into the culture, maybe. If you watch as many horror movies as I do, it's kind of the universal language in a way, but at the same time, it's those little differences. You'd be like, oh, okay, so that's the deal with, Indian houses or Indian customs in this particular tiny little area. So, all right. So May 4th, Netflix India. I think you can access it if you have a VPN. And that's it for me, Tony D. and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say, take it. I am at the Jersey Devil Fest today from 10 to 6 on the streets there. It's Madison Street is where the festival is in Asbury Park. It's a block away from Paranormal Books and Curiosities. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.